Hi, this is Dave Opdahl, and welcome back to our video series on implementer and consulting skill sets. In this video, I'd like to talk some about learning. I know it sounds really stupid and simple, but a lot of these topics really are. It's a matter of kind of grabbing them and honing them over time. And so you can't be of any value to people or to your team or to the client if you don't learn something, right? You have to learn things. You have to be digging after things. Be curious, right? And a lot of learning today is very different. It's very passive, okay? And so obviously I'm 65. I entered the workforce in 1981. So the world was a lot different when I did. And so there have been big changes in learning over the course of that time. So I want to talk about that a little bit, just kind of how you learn to figure out how you learn, right? So in '81 there were no computers. We were beyond horse and buggies, but there were no computers, and they kind of started rolling into the business environment within the next few years. But when they did, it wasn't in a decentralized fashion, okay? It was always in a centralized fashion. In other words, there was a conference room on the floor that had 4 or 5 computers in it. And you would, go to work do your computer work. So you'd pull your papers together and you have your floppy disks in your trusty little hand. And you'd wander down to the conference room to see if there was an open computer. And if not, you'd go back and come back and forth until there was one. But if there was, you'd go in, snag it, and start to do your work. And one of the benefits of that I really miss was some of the camaraderie that got built in those rooms. Okay, it was if you were struggling with a problem, right, trying to figure out how to do something, it was very easy to lean over to the person next to you and say, do you know how to do this? I'm trying to do this, that, and the other thing. Do you know how to do this? And if they looked and said, yeah, you need to make this change and that change and do this and that. Oh, got it. So close, so close. And you'd go ahead, and now you would just learn something, right? You tuck it away and you keep going. And they would do the same for you. They would, do you know how to do this? Oh yeah, I know how to do that. And so people were teaching each other, okay, in a very active sense. Okay, it was very specific. It was, I need this. I don't know how to do it, which is really critical. Okay, you have to be able to say, I don't know how to do this. Okay, so a little humility here is helpful. I don't know how to do this. Do you know? And if you do, can you show me? Right? And so now we're in a place where we have videos like these, right? And so you can go out on the internet and you can find out just about anything, how to do X, how to set up a chart of accounts in Business Central, how to run a jet report, right? All these different things are out there for you to learn. But the challenge is they are in some ways without context, okay? And it's one thing to know how to set something up in a system. It's another thing to know how to set it up for a particular client in a particular situation. So it's really helpful, I think, to look around you, right, and see those colleagues who you know are very knowledgeable and have the ability to pass that on. And kind of, especially if you're new into this whole implementation career path, seek out those mentors, right? Those people who can actually help you, right, are willing to help you. And I know that years ago I worked for a Microsoft reseller in Baltimore, and one of the principals and I were about the same age, and I was in as a contractor, and he was teaching me some very basic things about Microsoft Navision at that time. And I remember spending a whole day with this guy, or at least an afternoon, just going through how to make customizations in that product and that platform years ago. And it was a great day because I absorbed so much in that method. Okay, that's how I learn. I know myself well enough now to know that if I'm looking to learn something off of the internet, just picking up little bits and pieces is going to get me to the end result, but I'm not really going to have effectively learned it. That's my own situation. So I just put that out there. Your results may differ. So I think it's a matter of knowing how you learn, right? What are the ways you learn best? Now, another point on learning that I think is really helpful, and I found this out in a project, is teaching. Okay? In order to teach something, you have to really know it. Okay? Presumably, you have to really know your topic so that you can teach others how to do that same task effectively. I was working with a school district in Virginia and doing an implementation there, and the staff in the main office were responsible for learning the specific areas of their responsibility. So let's take, say, it was all in the area of finance. So there was accounts payable, there was general ledger, there was procurement, there was all sorts of different things. So the person who was in charge of procurement had to be able to demonstrate, and was called upon to do this, to demonstrate to the staff in the schools, here's how you place an order for curriculum, supplies, whatever. And they actually we went through, I remember going through, and this was not my idea, this was the client's idea, it was pure gold, going through a dry run where we went through this until everybody felt comfortable presenting to the group, okay? And then we opened it up and brought in the staff from the schools, and I just sat in the back. I was there, not that I was reneging any responsibilities, but I was there just to bail people out if they really needed it. But I very rarely got called upon to do that because the staff really had done a great job. And that confidence that they gave then provided confidence to the school staff because they knew these people. And they said, well, if Dave knows this, right, that's fine because he does this all day long, right? But if Joanne in the accounts payable department knows it, I know Joanne, and Joanne's smart, but she's not, she's not doing this all day, and she knows how to. So I know I'm comfortable there, right? It just gives it a sense of comfort and confidence that they can do that too. Oh, if you can do it, I can do it, right? So I think that's worth considering, right? And how do you implement that into your team, right? To be able to teach people, and what that does is it reinforces your understanding of it. You have to be on your game. So it's a really kind of an interesting concept. So give that a try. Give it some thought. Let me know in the comments if it works out for you. If it doesn't, and if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more coming, so stay tuned. And that's it for today. So thanks a lot. See ya.